directly employed by the government.
I'm very glad you raised that point. I neglected to say during my presentation that if a reform program like I'm proposing was to be adopted, there would be enormous dislocation within the country. There's no doubt about it. I'm glad to say that much of the dislocation would consist of lost jobs for all of the bureaucrats and administrators in the Department of Agriculture, Department of Commerce, Department of Labor, Department of Education, literally depopulating Washington, D.C. But that creates problems for them, and it creates problems for everyone who is currently in receipt of public assistance of whatever kind. Don't want to lose their assistance. What Donald Trump is going to do, what Ted Cruz actually got away with, tell the farmers of Iowa that if he's elected president, he's going to cut their ethanol subsidies. But how many farmers are going to vote for the guy who's going to cut their ethanol subsidies?
But there is something else though. The farmers are going to cut their ethanol subsidies in upstate New York. A lot of farmers support fracking very strongly because the natural gas is another source of income for them. This was a big issue with Hillary. But at the same time, if you cut that ethanol subsidy and you give the farmers another option, it could be done. But if you cut the subsidy and you don't give anything else, you're going to create another poverty crisis.
Okay, but the other side of that is, if we send a message to the world that we are going to steadily reduce the welfare budget, cut the amount of spending, thereby permitting taxes to go down, thereby ending the deficits, stopping the government from borrowing the $400 billion it's borrowing to close the deficit, actually $500 billion, $500 billion a year is what our annual deficit is.
On their bonds right now, so this borrowing is not going to continue forever.
No, but the point is that after we're removing so much capital from our productive sector through taxes, government goes into the financial system and removes so much more capital that could otherwise be invested. But if we start a serious program to cut spending and tax reductions are coming and deficits are going to be ended, then the United States announces to the world that we are open for business again. We will attract capital from all over the world. We will have startup companies, new businesses to create opportunities galore for the students getting out of college these days, the ability to repay their debt. So there is dislocation, but as far as I'm concerned, the people most in jeopardy from the dislocation never deserve their jobs to begin with. Let them drive Uber or something.
I want to jump in with something. When you go into, I'm trying to think of which, the Thomas Jefferson Democratic Club, where I've gone for a number of social things at various times, and you view Frank Sedio's desk. He's the most powerful Democrat in Brooklyn at this point, probably. Over his desk, there are two license plates framed, hanging on the wall. One says the boss, and the one underneath says Brooklyn. I have photographs of it. I was shocked when I saw it. Now, would any people in this country that are now dependent on the government for the dole, whatever the dole might be, would they vote against their financial interests? Because I see it that while this is the dream, it'll never happen as long as a large part of the population depends on the government giving them money.
Creating the opportunity
Can I answer
will
you? Yeah, can I answer you? And just,
Right.
this is about answering you about grassroots welfare revolt. I am this lady's background.
Yeah.
And no, the reason why I'm saying this, that we're waiting self-sufficient, energetic startup, working for ourselves. We don't want any help unless, we need infrastructures and defense of our rights and liberties. And the culture that is created by progressives And they start creating, it was how many years, like 40 years they start doing this? They are very successful, up to the point that more than 50% of our population, or at least African American population, is on food stamps. Now, it starts from the beginning, from the education. You have to teach the children, from little boy, from little girl, that you have to work instead to get something, and not to demand. We have now the results. How many millions of young people demanding free college education?
They already get free high school.
Free everything.
Free-
This is
free-
the result of the education.
A lot of people
And we are-
already
and
get
we're
free
com-
education.
We should get government education.
We are complacent with letting the progressives to do this to this country,
City
to our
colleges.
country. So I'm answering you, we really have to change things around, starting from education, from explaining. I believe there is still enough young, like Sea Park, students from Liberty, other young people who want to go into politics. We have to educate public
Okay.
now. We have to support these young people, or even old people who believe in this, so we can change the entire public
process.
environment.
Well, I just want to add, I come a little late, I just want to add a little things, and I'm very glad that you mentioned that.
Sorry, your name, sir?
My name is Mr. Sensil. Sensil,
What's
Will
your first
Sensil.
name? First name.
Will.
Will?
Like yourself, I'm a migrant, and I'm a US citizen by choice. And it's not that long since I become like a Republican. I just relocated back here from Texas, from McKinney, Texas. Well, one of the things that I would like to mention to you, one thing that I noticed all of us who are conservative, Republican, we don't know this sector that well. And it comes back to what you were saying about education. I'm an adjunct business teacher, and I have a business background. And I also sub sometimes. I so go to school from all the Fireblow and teach kids. When I go to my middle school class and I see these Afro-Caribbean background kids or African-American kids, and when I ask them, what is a Democrat? They tell me a Democrat like poor people. What is a Republican? Republicans don't like poor people. Do you understand? So for us, and that's what got me into, and that's what the reason that I get into politics. And I have programs that I'm going to start in some school teaching kids about government. The same way that I have to go back and learn. I'm from Haiti originally and learn about the American government and just government. We have a responsibility ourselves to organize ourselves. Because one thing that I noticed in Brooklyn, particularly in Brooklyn, since I decided to be involved in politics locally, we are not together. So I'm sorry, I just wanted to make a comment. I was thinking that it was necessary. So not all the Afro-Caribbean people are on welfare. These are people who are working very hard. And I'm going to tell you just to close my thought. I take my grandma raised me. My grandma doesn't really speak English. If you saw, and my grandma worked very hard, never took anything, and it's a shame for us to go and take stuff from government, because in our culture, this is not acceptable. But guess what? My grandma, if you show my grandma any white people on TV, any white man, and you said that's Bush, he said he's not gonna vote for that person. And my grandma, by definition, should be for Bush, because everything that my grandma teaches us go toward what Republican and conservative values are about. You know, so it's a confusion about us being involved in
This gentleman has been waiting. What is your culture?
Oh, I'm from Haiti.
We should make
This fellow has been waiting.
we should make a very sharp distinction between African Americans and West Indians. I have worked very much with Jamaicans, the Haitians. I know your music very well. St. Glenn and Sweet Mickey and on like that. These are very, very different culture. And what we need is many, many more immigrants from places like Haiti and Jamaica and Honduras. I've met many hardworking Hispanics from that country in particular, just friends of mine. And so that's one distinction to make.
Okay.
Go-
All
go-
Alton, you
yeah,
next.
well,
Hi, Jerome, my name's Alton Yee, I'm
We've
the,
met a number of
yeah, I'm the
times.
chair of the Brooklyn Libertarian Party. I got promoted the last time I spoke with you.
Congratulations.
What's your position? What's your new position?
I'm the chair of the Brooklyn Libertarian Party.
Good for you.
Hey, Jerome,
Congratulations.
your presentation resonates with libertarian easily, probably more so than Brooklyn.
No, actually, I've spoken to a great many libertarian parties, and I feel myself very fortunate if they don't turn their back on me. The moment, and that is the moment I say that government may tax us, but only as much as it costs to protect us. I lose them right away.
Wow.
Okay, but the
Well,
one
they're
thing I
anarchists.
say,
Many libertarians, the strongest cultural affinity is towards anarchy. They call it anarcho-capitalism. And as soon as I say there's a room for government, like I...
Is that true, Alton?
no, that is a segment of libertarians.
Okay.
And
Yeah, the most active.
I'm a constitutionalist, you know, I
Yeah,
have those
yeah,
crazy guys who go to Constitution.
yeah.
But I just
I've been
wanna-
following the movement since Murray Rothbard, and he was an overwhelming
Yeah,
influence.
Murray he's a class act. So, you know Murray Rothbard, right? Okay, but just want to clarify, John Locke predate Jefferson. They were not contemporaries.
John Locke died in 1732.
Okay. Just want to clarify that. They were the original libertarians, by the way. But before I get to my point, here's some simple
1704, excuse me.
mathematics. Not new math, not common core math, but simple mathematics. Okay, let's say Paul Ryan, or you could believe in Nancy Pelosi, decides that we're going to have to seriously cut down our debt, our deficit. We're going to pay it down. So they're going to create a special fund. They're going to put $1 million in the fund each second, 24/7. $1 million, okay? Now, after 32 years, they will have $1 trillion, okay? That's great progress. No interest, no inflation, but straight. To pay off $20 trillion, it would take 640 years, okay? Oh, do you see where I'm going at? It is practical, mathematically, and politically impossible to pay the debt. Now, if you really want to pay the debt down, we need to have a wholesale cut in federal government. All the agencies we mentioned, every one of them. Okay, now, next point I want to make is neither the geriatric Ken or Barbie, you know who they are,
Yeah.
are going to seriously cut the government. They are going to take away more of our freedoms. They're going to get us involved in more, involved with foreign wars. They're going to do nothing about decreasing the deficit. And they're going to increase more regulation. Hey, look, why are we going to that? I mean, really seriously.
What's our choice?
We have Gary Johnson, we have Joe Stein.
All altered, my answer is let the people lead, and the leaders will follow. And that's the only
Let me
solution.
fast forward to my colleague.
Okay, so what can we do to push forward? What can we old people do to push forward the welfare revolt?
Educate the young people.
Create opportunities.
Well,
Support
very specific.
support
I go
people
home
like
to-
Glenn, support people like this woman here. What we need is Americans seeing the writing on the wall, seeing the danger that is posed to this country. This country will no longer exist as we've known it in 10 years or 20 years. But what has to happen now, and Mark Levin talks about this, and I think he's exactly right, we have to begin at the local level. We have to have people become assemblymen and state senators, and eventually go rise up after that experience to national office and kick out the congressmen and senators who are there now. But you can't have a person running for U.S. senator from nothing unless his name is Eric Trump. Well,
Gary Johnson is a step in the right direction.
On that point, we have a number of people in this room currently running for office. Anybody currently running for office, please stand up so we know who you are. Okay, there's 3 of us.
Good.
Okay, so, what do you think? You can take 1 minute to explain where you're running.
I'm running in the 44th Assembly District.
Say your name.
I'm Sarah, I'm the president of the Brooklyn Tea Party, those of you who are new and don't know me. I'm also the Republican Republican District Leader of the 44th Assembly, District Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Brooklyn Young Republican Club, former president of that organization. And I was glad to take over this organization in February of 2016. My neighborhoods that consist of is Kensington, parts of Borough Park, parts of Parkville, also Park Slope, and I believe it's one more place, it's Windsor Terrace. And so we'll be needing some help as we get closer to the election day. So I want to thank Daniel, who's also running on our platform, our treasurer. We both made it to the Republican and conservative lines to run for representing those two parties, and hopefully we'll do justice to our cause to promote limited government and law and order, as we know with de Blasio how we are moving. Without that being said,
Wait, what's your district number? 44. Okay, go ahead, David. Dan. Yes, sir.
Daniel Ramos, Assembly District 52. Park Slope, a part of Red Hook, all the way down to Brooklyn Heights. Why am I on the ticket? Because, like most of you here, I'm fed up. I'm fed up with what's happening in our government. And I need to prove to others that we, the little guys, can do a change, can make a change. So, I may not win, that's fine. But I prove that the average Joe, I've never been in politics before, can put his name in the hat and have a chance to win or a chance to make a difference. So with that, I want to say that, yes, everything has to be done locally, because I cannot run for president of the United States.
Yes, you can.
Well, realistically,
Yes, you can.
I'm not going to be voted in
Not this week.
Well,
I'm not going to be voted in to Congress. You know, I'm just the average Joe. But if I can locally make a difference, I can show the young people, the people my age, and the older people that we can stop talking, and do something about it. Last point. Thank you. Last point. 3 people in this room already in line. Our names will be on the ballot. The question is, how many other names will be on the ballot next year? Think about it.
you guys can.
I'm 65 years old. I'm too old to do this. I'm 75. No. Put your name in there.
To do.
Let's do it. Let's line people up for next year. Let's not wait for the last minute.
I want to make a comment about what you just said. I don't know her last name. A friend of mine told me to get in touch with this woman named Robin. She's part of the state. They were looking for candidates to run. I had called her 3 or 4 times. I left messages, and she never got back to me. I understand the Republicans, at least locally in Brooklyn, are trying to fill every single slot in every single election, so that they're running as a party across the borough.
So is your name going to be on next year? So that was my statement. The next person?
Ma'am, your name?
My name is Malka Shahar, and I'm offering you my cards if you want to have it. And I'm running because of many reasons, but I want to mention like few. First of all, I want to say God bless America. I'm so happy in this free level of people. And America gives me a roof, and America saved my life. Like I said, all people who was with me in political field in Russia got murdered by government. It's example of socialism also, because they tried to keep control on the people. And
Now it's just a thugocracy.
district, what district?
47, Bensonhurst, Gravesend, and I'm on 2 lines, Republican and Conservative.
47 AD or ED? AD. because I work in Bensonhurst,
Uh-huh.
if I could do anything to help you, when, I can't decide, when John Ferrantino was running, I actually was out giving out flyers the day of election